So it's fair to say it's not looking good for Liam Lawson after a very disappointing Red Bull Racing debut in Australia a week ago. This weekend's Chinese Grand Prix gave him two opportunities to prove himself in both the sprint race and the Grand Prix race in Shanghai. However, it didn't go to plan again. He qualified last for both the sprint and the race as well. The Kiwi is really struggling to find his rhythm in that Red Bull car. Now, there was an article that went out on the F1 Chronicle.com over the weekend, and it basically said that he has one more race to find his rhythm in Red Bull. Now, since that article's been published, there was another race, and he didn't find his rhythm. Even after 3 disqualifications ahead of him, he only classified in 12th position during the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. And there are very much a lot of rumours going around that Lawson will be swapped with Yuki Tsunoda for the next round in Japan. Of course, Japan being Yuki Tsunoda's home race. So let's have a look at what is going on with Liam Lawson and what is likely to happen with him at Red Bull Racing. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Red Bull will wait one more race to start getting too worried about Liam Lawson. After a horror opening weekend as Max Verstappen's teammate in Melbourne, New Zealander Lawson was dead last in both sprint qualifying and the main race qualifying in China. Red Bull opted for Lawson over Yuki Tsunoda mainly because of his mental resilience, prompting McLaren CEO Zak Brown to this week blast the strange choice. I don't listen to any of that too closely, Red Bull advisor Dr. Helmut Marko told Service TV in Shanghai. These are the usual shenanigans. He also told Österreich newspaper Yuki lacked consistency last year. Unfortunately, nothing has come together for Lawson yet. However, it was overlooked that he was one of the fastest in dry Melbourne. So let's not write him off just yet. Let's wait and see for the first 3 races, which are all on very different tracks, and then we will get a more meaningful picture, Marko added. After watching Lawson qualify for the sprint in last position, Marko told Service TV Australia was his first race and he doesn't know the track here in China either. That obviously makes things more difficult. He was doing well in his first run, then he couldn't get the tyres up to temperature for the second. We thought that he had found his rhythm, but it seems to be very difficult. The car, as he says, is more difficult to drive than the Racing Bulls car, but now he needs to slowly find his rhythm. I'd say he needs to quickly find his rhythm, to be honest, knowing what Red Bull are like when it comes to changing drivers mid-season. As for Marko is keeping his eye on the Japanese as well. Yuki has made another leap forward from last year to this year. I'm talking about Yuki as a person and as a driver. He has also changed his management and so far he is performing very well. Christian Horner is standing by Lawson. For now. I think Liam's got pretty sensible head on his shoulders, he said. It's been a tough baptism for him. I've told him to ignore the naysayers, ignore social media, put your head down and you'll be fine. He just needs a bit more time. But Red Bull is a tough place, said Horner. Max has been with the team for almost 10 years. We have a policy of supporting young talent. That's why we're giving Liam this opportunity. Lawson is renowned for being a straightforward, self-confident driver, but his confidence is already starting to take a knock. Mental fitness is more important in this sport, he acknowledged to Build newspaper. When you're on track and have self-doubt, it affects the way you drive the car. I know I need that mindset to perform at my best. When asked if it's his resilience rather than his pace that is secured in the seat over Tsunoda, Lawson answered, hopefully they went for me because they believe in me. And yeah, like I said, even after that, he was 15th before those 3 disqualifications to Gasly and the Ferraris, and it was 12th after them. So it's not looking great, I'll be honest. I'm a bit concerned about Lawson, to say the least. Now, I'm not saying that Lawson's not doing a good enough job, because that Red Bull, it just feels like it's impossible to drive for anybody who's not called Max Verstappen. Honestly, Lawson so far is making Perez look pretty good. Just with how tough that thing is to drive, it just is not suiting him. I don't know what it is, but the car is just not suiting him. And like I said, there were rumours about him being replaced before Japan. Now, the thing is with Japan as well, is that it does offer a different opportunity, not just because the track is different, but also because Lawson is experienced at racing there. He has raced there in the past in Super Formula. I'm not sure if he's raced there in Formula 1. I think he might have done in 2023. I could be wrong though with that. Do correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect on that, guys. But I know he has at least raced there before, so it is a newer track. Despite him being from New Zealand, he's never raced at Melbourne before. And I know Melbourne's in Australia before anybody says it, but I'm just saying in the grand scheme of Formula One and top track kind of like locations and stuff, it's not that far away, even though it's like a 5-6 hour flight or whatever between Auckland and Melbourne. But yeah, anyway, so for me, I mean, you gotta stick with him. You gotta stick with him for now. You really have to. But we know what Red Bull is like. And the thing is as well, I do really rate Tsunoda, I do, but is Tsunoda gonna get in that car and make it work better than Lawson? Answers on a postcard. How do we know? I thought that Lawson would struggle relatively this season compared to Max. And by struggle, I mean being at the tail end of the points, you know, not challenging for race wins, but, you know, Max Verstappen being able to do that on a regular basis. Because, you know, Max Verstappen is a 4-time Formula One champion. He's arguably the fastest driver on the grid. He's certainly been the most successful driver on the grid over the past 4 seasons. There's no doubt about that. So to expect him to be anywhere near Max, I think is a bit unrealistic. But even with that caveat, this has been a shocking start to the season for Lawson. It's only 2 races, but I'm not confident he's going to be in that Red Bull seat for much longer. I really am not. And when that change is going to happen, I don't know. But he's really got to pull his finger out and find his rhythm. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, as they said on Cool Runnings. And he needs to find it, unfortunately. But guys, what do you think? How long is Lawson going to be able to survive at Red Bull? It's not the drivers that are the problem. I'm telling you, it's the team and the car. Albon, Perez, Gasly have either proven themselves to be good or great racing drivers before or after Red Bull. Red Bull is the blot on their copybook. Everywhere else those guys have been, they've succeeded. So, your thoughts, guys? Well, with the exception of Perez at McLaren. Didn't do very well there, but he was up against Jenson Button, who was rather good. But you take my point. You take my point. Your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe for much more content on the world of Formula One just like this. I hope you really enjoyed this weekend in Shanghai, and a bit of a break before the next race in Japan, but we've got plenty of stuff in the meantime to cover here on the F1 Chronicle. Have a fantastic day, guys. Have a great week. See you very soon. And if you want to check out another video from me, I will link the video going over the disqualifications to Hamilton, Leclerc and Gasly, why they were thrown out of the Chinese Grand Prix. That'll be at the end of this video on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, just go and look it up. You'll find it. Plenty of videos here on the F1Chronicle.com to keep you entertained as always.